everybody? Mark, aka The Nerdy Punk, back again today for a new video. Happy Sunday, everybody. Hope you all are having an incredible weekend. It's the first full weekend of October, so fantastic month, my favorite month of the year, and the spooky season, which is actually what this video is about. So today we are kicking off the spooky season series for 2023. Last year I did a series of approximately 6 or 7, I think, movie reviews, as well as maybe a couple collection videos related to the spooky season and Halloween and, you know, horror movies and all that great stuff. This is my favorite time of the year. Fall is my favorite season. I love the weather. I love the food, you know, all the pumpkin stuff, the Halloween candy, you know, I love Halloween, my favorite holiday. It's just a fantastic time of year. Football season, all that great stuff. So I always like to do a few, you know, horror movie related videos or perhaps spooky related videos. Some of these movies are not exactly horror movies, but they fit the theme nonetheless. Today what we're going to do is we are going to go through my Scream Factory collection. I've been collecting Scream Factory for, I'd say, maybe 5 years now. It was the very first boutique Blu-ray label that I started collecting. And I forget how I kind of stumbled upon them. I think I may have been looking for a specific movie and I just happened to find the Scream Factory website and I started to look through it and watch videos of people who collect them, and I'm like, this is a really cool label. So while it is the first boutique label that I started collecting, Criterion has far surpassed it in terms of my favorite boutique labels, as well as the ones that I have the most of. I'd say I have close to 25, 30 Scream Factory releases. I don't know, I haven't counted them. You guys could go through and count during the video if you want, I don't care. But that's kind of ballpark, a few dozen releases basically is what I'm looking at. So I have a lot of the big stuff, some of the smaller titles I don't have, but I'm gonna go ahead and go through these relatively quickly and talk about them, show them off, and I'm excited to dive into some of these movies, perhaps for my spooky season marathon this year. So, first thing I want to do is I want to get this big set out of the way. This is the Friday the 13th complete collection from Scream Factory. This released, I believe, in 2021 or 2020. I can't remember which, but this is a Blu-ray set. It's not a 4K set, but it is just gorgeous. This is the same thing they did originally on Blu-ray for the Halloween movies. They made this big box set, and it is just really, really cool. And then you have all the movies there. Zoom in, hopefully the glare can go away. So you got all the movies. You got a book, which is really cool. I did a full unboxing of this when I first got it. It's not a fantastic video, I'll go ahead and tell you that. But if you want to see the contents of that, definitely go check out that video. This is a really awesome set. Believe it or not, it's been in my collection for 2 years. I still haven't gone through this. I've watched a couple of them out of here, but it's been a long time. So I definitely want to watch at least 1 or 2 of these for this month, for the spooky season. Next thing I'm going to go through real quick is the 4K releases that I have. Scream Factory, within the past 2 years, I think they dove into 4K finally, and they have been releasing a lot of their releases that they put out on Blu-ray in the early 2010s, you know, the ones that I kind of missed out on, they've been releasing to 4K. So first thing is they went through the Halloween movies and re-released them onto 4K. So I have the first 5 here that are in the hard box style packaging. So you see the spine sort of there, the back, really cool release. And then they have the same thing for Halloween 2. There's Halloween 3. Halloween 4. And Halloween 5. So originally they just did the 5 movies all on their own, really sturdy packaging. And then the next year, so this was 2021, which makes me think the Friday the 13th set was 2020. So it's been 3 years since I got that. That's nuts. That's absolutely insane. So this was 2021, and then in 2022, they came out with the 4K collection from 1995 to 2002. This is the last 3 of the original series here. So you have Halloween 6, H2O, and Resurrection there. And I have another unboxing for this when it came out. This is, it's the same style, but it's got this really cheap looking case on the outside of it. And this was well over $100 when I bought it. I'm not thrilled with the quality of this set, but it's really nice to be able to look on the shelf and to see that. A real nice row of awesome, awesome releases of Halloween movies. So I would say Halloween is my favorite horror series in terms like the really big ones. It's definitely my favorite. So I really enjoy revisiting some of those movies. Hopefully I'll get to a few this month. The only thing that you don't have here is you're missing out on the new series of movies, of course, which I have the regular studio releases of, as well as the 2 Rob Zombie films, which I know get a lot of hate, but I still kind of like. Next up, so I have a few more here on 4K. These I actually haven't even opened. I think they came out last year. I still haven't checked them out yet. This is the Child's Play, the first 3 Child's Play movies. So you've got the original, and they're still in the shrink wrap, which is why the glare is so much worse. But these are not hard box style, which I was really hoping they would be. This is just a regular slipcover with the 4K on the inside. So, quick fun story here. When I was a kid, I obviously didn't watch horror movies. My parents really didn't either, but they did have a tape of one of the Child's Play movies. I think it might have been the first one here. And I watched this movie when I was like 5 or 6 years old. It freaked the hell out of me. Like I would swear off horror movies or anything remotely scary for years because of this movie. This movie really freaked me out when I was a kid. I haven't watched it since. I've watched the remake that came out a couple years ago, and it was just, you know, a standard kind of horror flick for me. It was kind of funny as well. So if I remember correctly, there's a lot of camp with these movies. They get kind of out there, kind of weird, very funny, comedic. So I'm interested to watch this for the first time since childhood and see how I react now. Obviously, I was a kid, you know, but still, I find it humorous that this is what freaked me out so much. I still have a thing about dolls. The creepy doll movies really mess with me. Okay, next thing to show off here. I kind of have the Scream Factory collection kind of broken up into its own little sections. A couple more Blu-ray box sets. These are smaller ones. So I have the Amityville Horror Trilogy, which has the original 3 Amityville movies, and I've only watched the first one, and I thought it was okay. I may end up getting rid of this set one of these days, but I think I bought it because I wanted to check out these movies, and it was relatively cheap, so. It has kind of a flimsy case, too. And then this one has kind of the hard box style case, which is really nice, and this is the Wreck Collection. This is a series of 4 found footage horror movies from Spain, I believe, or Mexico, I forget, I think it's in Spanish. But this is the original movie. There was an American movie made, basically a shot-for-shot remake of this called Quarantine, and I've seen that one, and I really like that one. So I need to get into these and watch these. Once again, maybe that's something for October. But found footage movies always also kind of creep me out because they have this element of realism to them. They're usually not real, obviously, but because it feels kind of real, it kind of creeps me out a little bit more. But these movies, especially the first one, have been really highly regarded, so I'm excited to get those. And then I have one Scream Factory Steelbook, and that is the Blu-ray release of Halloween 2. So I'm keeping this for now, even though I have the 4K release, obviously. Maybe I will get rid of this one of these days. And then we go into my Scream Factory collection with slipcovers. So I obviously have these separated out as well, because Scream Factory slipcovers are pretty highly sought after. But we start out with a movie that's not very highly sought after, Army of Frankensteins. This was a horror pack release one of those months, and I had the horror pack for about a year. I never really got much out of it. And a lot of the movies that they send you are these really kind of cheesy looking, almost straight to DVD releases like this. And not a huge fan of them. So it's a cool thing, but it's just not for me. Next one here, another horror pack one, Don't Knock Twice. It's got a really cool cover art and poster, but I haven't actually seen the movie, so I can't tell you with that one. Next one, The House That Jack Built. This movie is directed by Lars von Trier, and I was really getting into Lars von Trier when this movie came out, so of course I had to have this. I liked this one. It gets really weird, as most Lars von Trier movies do, but Matt Dillon gives a really creepy performance in this movie. I really enjoyed this. Definitely an underrated one, for sure. Next one here, Species. Nice classic sci-fi horror kind of camp. You know, a lot of really, really interesting, fun stuff in this movie, you know. Lots of attractive alien women and and funny jokes. It's a really good time. I think that has a 4K release. Next one, of course, obviously also has a 4K release, The Thing. I have the original here, Blu-ray release. Had to hunt this one down on eBay, but I don't think it was that expensive at the time, and I bought it before the 4K release came out. So, but this is one of my favorite horror movies of all time. I obviously have to watch this sometime soon. It's a fantastic movie, maybe better than Halloween, I don't know. I go back and forth between this and Halloween for John Carpenter, but I really love this one. Next one here, a classic, Trick or Treat. Love this one so much. Unless I missed it, has there been a 4K release of this? This is definitely a prime candidate to get a 4K release sometime very soon, if it doesn't have one already. This is a fantastic horror anthology. My bad. This is one that I have to watch every Halloween season. I actually missed it last year, so I definitely have to watch this one this year. It is so great. It captures the feeling of Halloween night so well, and is just really, really good. So much fun. Next one here, little Valentine's Day horror with Valentine. This is a cheesy 90s horror flick. Like it's very dated. There's not much more to say about it. I found it okay. Wasn't really thrilled with it. If I grew up with it, I'd probably like it a lot more, but it was all right. It's fun to have in the collection. Nice slipcover with cool artwork. And then the last one, this is a pretty recent release, I think from the last couple of years. I heard great things about it when it came out, but I just haven't watched it, and that is The Vigil. This is another one that came in the horror pack, an IFC Midnight release, and I can't wait to check this one out, but, well, obviously I can wait because it's been over a year. Nonetheless, I do really want to watch this movie. I just got to get around to it with the right mindset. You know, I'm very much a person that if I'm not in the right mood for a movie, I'm not going to enjoy it no matter how great it is. So I have to be in the right mood for this film. But I'm really looking forward to it when I do get that right mood and I'm able to sit down and enjoy that one. The last little section of Scream Factory titles I have here is just the standard releases with no slipcovers. So we're going to go through these pretty fast. First one is The Autopsy of Jane Doe. Really good contemporary horror. This came out, I think, in like 2014. And it's a really, really good, creepy film set in a morgue. So obviously it's going to be kind of creepy. Brian Cox is really good in this movie, as well as Emile Hirsch, who's really solid. So I like that movie a lot. Very creepy one. This one I haven't seen yet, Bloodsucking Bastards. I think this was a horror pack one as well. The Jeepers Creepers double feature. The first and second one there. I've never seen any of these movies, but I've bought these movies 3 times over. I got them once in horror pack, then I think I didn't realize I had them, so I bought them in a Scream Factory sale, and then I end up buying them, I think, on Hamilton Book one time, more like not the Scream Factory release, but the mainstream release. I don't know. But for the amount of times I've bought these movies, I need to watch them. Like, it's getting bad. But I like Justin Long, especially Justin Long in horror. So I'm really excited for that one. And then next one, the Poughkeepsie Tapes. If I recall, this is the movie that started my Scream Factory thing. So I had a friend who told me about this movie. They said it was really creepy and really insane, and I obviously wanted to watch it, so I bought it on Scream Factory with one of their sales. We ended up watching it, and I didn't really think it was that good. It's another found footage type film, and it was okay. There's some parts of it that were creepy and scary, some parts of it that were just kind of weird. So, you know, I thought this was kind of a mixed bag, but an interesting release. Definitely something to check out once. Next one here, this is a Scream Queen double feature with Jamie Lee Curtis. I don't know if she's in both of these movies, but The Fog, of course, from John Carpenter, and The Howling on this one. I haven't seen either one of those movies. This is a great one, Sleepaway Camp, the original, starring Felissa Rose. This movie is all of the 1980s. Like, 80s horror at a camp, sign me up. Like, let's go. For the first, like, 2/3 of the movie, it's just non-stop cheese. And then at the end, obviously, there's an incredible reveal at the end. I'm not going to spoil for you. If you haven't watched this movie, you have to watch it without spoilers. If you've never seen this, go watch it if you like 80s horror, but do not look up anything about it because it's got a fantastic ending. And I didn't know anything about it. And when you get to the ending, it's just, wow. So, I really like this movie. There's a reason why it spawned sequels. I've never seen the sequels, but the original is great. And then the final movie in my Scream Factory collection is Slumber Party Massacre, the original film from the 1980s. Haven't watched this one yet, but another great 80s horror classic. Okay, that is my Scream Factory collection. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. It went a little bit longer than I wanted it to, but I kind of got a little long-winded with some of those titles. Definitely leave me in the comments down below your favorite Scream Factory releases. I know they're doing a Shocktober sale, I think, right now, actually. So I don't know if I'm going to pick anything up with that sale, but if you have any Scream Factory recommendations, definitely leave those in the comments below as well. Have an amazing rest of your weekend, guys. Happy spooky season. I'll see you later.